in this event. Anyways, let's see what's going to happen as we go into game number 1 of this best of 5. Our second semi-final of the day. To the top left-hand side, the blue Protoss player from Ting. Give it up if you're cheering on Neeb. He's playing against the red circular lower right-hand side. It's going to be Toodming. If you are enjoying the stream, guys, make sure you hit that follow button. See you when we go live again in the future with more StarCraft 2 action. We do try and stream every day. Try and stream every day, and yeah, if you're enjoying, hit the follow button. It's the best way to see when we're going live, of course, on top of being able to follow us on Twitter, etc., where we post about going live, yada yada yada. Of course, if you're really enjoying the stream, plenty of ways to support the stream as well. You can subscribe to the channel. You can donate, and you can share as well. If you've got that Twitch Prime, give that sub button a click. You might have your free sub available. If you do, we'd be very happy to take it off your hands. It's as simple as clicking that sub button if you've got that Twitch Prime on your account, and it'll just tell you, like, yo, what up? Subscribe for free, and then you'll be very happy, and then I'll be very happy, and we'll all be very happy. It's all great ways of supporting the channel and keeping me as a full-time StarCraft 2 streamer, caster, and content producer. And of course, on top of that, nowadays you can gift subs as well. Being able to gift subs is something people have been waiting for a long time. So if you're feeling kind, you want to spread some love, you can sub for other people, basically. It's insane. Anyways, ling all in here for Toodming in game number 1 of this best of 5 semi-final matchup. Neeb with the Twilight Council opening is not going to be set up brilliantly to defend against this. Well, I don't know, but he's going to out on the wall. He's going to complete the wall off now. He's going to Chrono Boost out another Adept. Chrono Boost is something that goes a long way to helping out with these sort of attacks, being able to get the next unit out a little bit faster. Let's see what happens. Link speed is about to kick in. Only 14 drones if there's no Evo chamber, so it's not kind of the usual sort of attack we're kind of used to seeing, I guess. Simon next core looking as though it's in a fair amount of trouble here, as these Adepts obviously do not have glaives for quite a little while still. So Cybercore probably going to go down, to be realistic, as we're going to be seeing falling right there, and we'll be having to rebuild that sooner rather than later. The shield battery is on its way up, but it's not going to be in position to help out on this left-hand side. And this pylon is about to fall. This gateway falls as well. Adept is already walled off to the top side there. We'll see another pylon. Neeb's going to not have enough money, I don't think, to wall on this south side. And so these lings are going to start making their way in, but we are going to see the shield battery is keeping that probe alive for now. New gateway builds over here. One Adept left in the wall. With the help of the shield battery, you shouldn't really lose anything. The shield battery right now is also protecting in the main base too. What's been lost here? One single worker. Well, that is not enough damage at all here for Toodming as Neeb continues to defend. Another pylon comes down. I love this. The Adept shading behind the pylon, so he doesn't have to be part of the wall anymore, but just stays as part of the wall until the pylon is placed. Things gathering themselves up on the left-hand side. Again, the fleet beacon. Not fleet beacon, the fucking shield battery. Another one on the way up. God damn it. Alright then, let's see what's going to happen as we go into game number 2. To the top left-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Ting. It is Neeb. He's up 1-0 in this best of 5 semi-final. Bottom right, our red Zerg player is Toodming. 1 PM early morning. Well, I woke up at like 11 AM just before. And when you go to bed at like 6:30, it's not a very great time to wake up. I expected to have to wake up at like 12:30, so I guess 6 hours. I was feeling good. Instead, I woke up for some reason randomly. My caster senses were tingling, man. Woke up like after 4 hours. I was like, what? For some reason, I checked Skype rather than anything else. So that we had to cast, and boom, here we are. We're just like that, boom, we showed up. Out of nowhere. Like magic. Well, it wasn't like magic, yeah, it's quite simple, really. I went in the shower, then I got in the car and I drove to the studio, and here we are. But, yeah. In my brain, it's early. Yeah, I'm living the full-on caster degen life, so I go to bed late because that's when I like to work, late at night rather than through the day, and then I wake up usually later. Anyways, just gonna be seeing this probe scanning around, gonna be nibbling away. Picking up some probes, overlords crossing the map, and we're just going to be seeing the early build order here from Neeb, fairly standard. Adept's going to be kind of boosted out right now. Going to see some Zerglings on the way up from Toodming. Just setting up early into, I imagine, what will not be another kind of Ling flood based on the last game. He is making a fair amount of lings though. 8 lings is a bit more than you really need at this stage for the PvZ, so we'll see what he can do with the 8 lings. These lings coming in towards the center of the map, and Evo Chamber will start, so maybe we are just going to see this ling flood. And it's kind of not, you know, he started up another drone after the, you know, 8 lings is obviously weird, but then he started up another couple drones, so I was like, okay, cool. Now he's actually just making more lings, so Toodming, the second game of this series, is going to attempt to ling flood through. And he's making this a very quick affair so far. As you see these Zerglings coming up the left-hand side, well, Neeb with a Stargate coming up is a really nice way to help him defend against an attack like this. Although, first 8 lings arrive much earlier than Neeb's expecting anything. And so this pylon is just going to go down so quickly. Probes will pull in, but way too late. The new pylon starts with that delays a lot of time on the building of further, well, further units. As you're going to see these lings up in towards this position now as well. This pylon looking as though it is going to go down. The drop lord has been seen. And we'll see the probes and the adept do get the kill there in the end. As Ling is coming across the map. Well, again, the issue is there isn't really anything on the low ground to help defend this right now. As we're going to be seeing the adept coming back down. Shield battery will build, but way too late to really do too much. Although maybe the Oracle can help buy some time. Oracle needs to activate its pulsar beam. We'll start to help out. We'll start to help fighting through this now. And some lings will be pushed away. Dropper Lord here still being blocked by the Zergling, by the probes actually. Although the probe's not actually fighting. A little bit of an issue as we do see the Oracle is... Did he turn his pulsar beam off? Oh no, well now he doesn't really have the energy to justify turning it back on. Well, probe is pulling in to keep on fighting this here. One pylon goes down to the side. Stargate going to be targeted now as well. Oracle will pop its energy once more. Will help out. Void Ray comes in to push this Dropper Lord back. Meanwhile, Adept on the low ground does have a shield battery to work with, which will go a long way to helping out. Feels as though Neeb is probably held on here. It's not over yet, but things are starting to feel pretty okay for him. Especially with power back on these gates on the low ground. Adepts are going to continue coming out here. Well, I guess the shield battery is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Maybe I've spoken a little bit too soon. Void Ray comes in to just help out a little bit further. More lings are about to stream on in because this gateway is going to fall, and that will be a big issue now. As you see, these adepts are already trying to shade away up to the high ground and try and get away to safety. Void Ray doing what it can, but the problem is obviously Void Ray isn't very quick at dealing with Zerglings, so actually Neeb is going to lose out on the low ground here. Obviously, he lost one gateway, and then it all starts to go wrong from there. I just sort of assumed he was going to be able to keep on building behind it, but he's lost a lot of mine time. His probe was trying to build another pylon and got picked off very quickly. Now Neeb has to keep these units alive because these are the only units he has until those gates in the Cybercore come back up. The depth shade back into the mineral line, I guess. Neeb just going to be playing the one base against this for now. He's going to be seeing this Oracle. Well, it's got 13 kills so far. He's going to be finding some more here. Oh, depths! Why would you come down to the low ground, guys? I'm not even too sure. And he's going in towards the mineral line on the main base again, as we're going to see the adepts. The star gets surrounded. Nice little gas movement there to get the probes on top of these Zerglings as well, joining in the fight. 2 adepts, I think, are still around. No, just one of these adepts still around. 10 workers for Neeb. This gateway's finishing up here. Another Oracle on the way out. Still pure Zergling being made by Toodming, but he will start a preferred hatchery at least. Neeb just going to GG out of the game here. Feeling as... See some love for some... see some love. The people showing love to the stream. Neon Violet Square, not the sort of map which you're looking to all in on as a Zerg. Maybe we see some sort of lair-based all-in? Well, we'll find out, I guess. To the bottom right-hand side of the map, our blue Protoss player from Ting. Give it up for Neeb. And to the top left-hand side, the red Zerg player is Toodming. So, Iria, how you doing as well with the 17-month resub? Thank you so much for the support as well. Really do appreciate it. 17 months of Home Story Cup friendship. How amazing. Thank you so much. Get some Woody Hearts in the chat. I'll say please a couple long resubs coming on in. Too hard for pros to defend without Mothership Core. Fucking pros have been defending all sorts without the Mothership Core. I think the shield battery is completely fine. It's just you need to figure it out. In this game, things went wrong for Neeb very quickly. You know, the first 8 lings kind of caught him completely off guard. I mean, the Mothership Core wouldn't have changed that. He wouldn't have had a Mothership Core to defend those first 8 lings. And then it becomes, you know, then it's always going to be an issue whether it was a Mothership Core or not. And this is the sort of, this wasn't so, sorry, the sound's off from having my ears blown out again. And this wasn't, you know, it's not like this is a cheese that was never winning games before the, you know, before the patch, right? It's not like it's, again, you know, a build that was never winning games before the patch. So, I don't know. I disagree. I kind of feel as though the lack of charge is actually not as missed as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a much worse scenario for Protoss. I actually feel as though Protoss are doing pretty fine right now without the overcharge, because the shield battery is actually a much better way of... Well, it's a much better way to give Protoss a way to defend and survive without... yeah, without being in too much trouble. Sorry guys, but I'm trying to get my phone to start charging, and every time I put it down it stops charging. There we go. Save the day. Alright. Adept shading on forwards. Well, 21 lings on the map. There is 21 drones on the map. 8 lings are moving around. See what they want to get up to. See what's going to be happening. These lings coming down the right to see what they can perhaps get up to now. We're going to see there's a Adept just poking up the left. Seeing what's going to happen. No third hatch just yet, which is probably what this Adept wants to go and try and find out. He does just see a lack of a third hatchery. Lair has started, and we said it may be a possibility that if he wants to be aggressive this game, he goes towards a lair-based opening. And that's exactly what we're seeing here out of Toodming in game number 3. I think there's a little bit of damage there. A few shield batteries on the way up. You can see Neeb is a little bit afraid of the previous games and just going to make triply, quadruple. Look at this quadruple shield battery. Wow. I think just seeing the lack of the third base, and you start to figure out, I mean, has he even just seen the lair here? I'm not sure if he's seen the lair. No, he hasn't, but he's seen the lack of a third base. So he's realizing that something's coming his way, so setting up those shield batteries in preparation. Oracle to the left-hand side. I'm going to relocate and come up towards the top instead. So Oracle in towards the main, and just going to be trying to perhaps do a little bit more. Revelation will come down, and Queen goes get tagged along with a whole bunch of drones. Infestation Pit will start up too. The Robo Facility dropping down in the natural expansion. Neeb already started up his third base. It's interesting because on Neon Violet Square, a lot of players will play straight in towards the back base just because it's easy to defend. And you still get the gases even if you're very limited on the minerals that you get. Oracle's here, helping Neeb to, well, realize it's a lair. It is a 2-base play, and the Infestation Pit coming down. Looking as though we might have some Swarm Host play right here, I would imagine. And there was the Nidus Network to accompany those Swarm Hosts, so it is looking to be that build which helped to knock Neeb out of BlizzCon. These two Oracles coming all the way down to the south side. Looking to see, just looking to see what they can get up to. This Ling moves over to the left as well. 5 Swarm Hosts starting up here. Another shield battery in the main base. I like it. He's setting up nicely. He started, preparing very early on for these shield batteries. Oh, he actually cancelled a couple at the front, so obviously felt as though he didn't need them in the end. Now setting another one up in the main. Revelation goes down. He sees the Nidus Network, so he's going to get an idea of what is going on. Oracles are going to move around. There's actually this Phoenix so close to actually finding the Nidus there. He sees the Zergling. That might be enough of an idea, and he's just going to find the Nidus. No queens inside, so he could get here. Okay, queens do start to unload. It didn't look like those queens inside, but they came out there eventually. And well, Neeb going into a rubber bay, probably just going to look towards Colossi as a way to fight against these Locusts, which is interesting. Obviously not kind of something you usually see, but something that could definitely make a lot of sense. Colossi got a little bit of a buff in the patch, and they're being used quite a lot lately, and definitely could be a good way to use things now, perhaps, to see how it goes. So we wait for the next wave of Locusts. What's up, Redacted 2148 coming in with the 3-month free sub. How you doing? Thank you so much for resubscribing. Some Wardy hearts in the chat, please. The resubs have started rolling here today. You film has opened the floodgates. Thank you so much for the 3 months. Really do appreciate it as we see Locusts dropping in from the sky. And Neeb will just pull back over to the right-hand side once again. 6 more Swarm Hosts on the way out here. I actually just casted a game like this the other day. Demargo was doing this to DNS in the Go for SE2 monthly finals. It was a really crazy game. DNS just tried to fight with Immortal Archon. The problem with that is it's very difficult to actually fight it. But, yeah, it's very difficult to actually fight it. But in this case, well, I like the Colossi. I really do feel like the Colossi is a good way to be able to clean up those Locusts. Clean and simply every time. Next Nidus comes down north of the 3rd. Just using these Zerglings to set up the Nidus networks. A little bit of active creep being cleaned out, but could definitely do with an observer to clean up a bit more. Another Nidus down to this side, as you're going to see this army coming up here again. I'm not sure about this one, Neeb. Splitting up his army quite heavily at the moment. I think his 3rd Nexus just dies here. He's completely out of position. This Nidus down to the south side will get cleaned up once again, though. And you will see the Zergling. Well, I mean the creeps here, right? So he doesn't even need the Zergling. Yeah, this 3rd Nexus is going down, down, down. There's just no way you can realistically fight against that. A couple of Swarm Hosts got picked off here, which is nice. At least it's something. And we will get rid of this Nidus network too. New Nidus comes up once again over to the left-hand side. Again, the creep acting as the vision here. As we do just wait to see. Well, what's Neeb going to go into next? I mean, he only ever built one Colossus. There isn't a second one on the way up, and yeah, that kind of hurts him here as he does re-expand. He's actually rebuilding both Nexuses, the one here and the 4th base. Pushing forwards right now. Swarm's on cooldown. He's going to kill this Nidus, so there's not an immediately easy way out of this for Toodming. Has to build another Nidus here. He's just going to need to run away from those Locusts. Why fight them if you can just run instead? Obviously, it doesn't always work depending on the position of the Swarms, but in this location, definitely not really worth fighting them because you're just going to be taking damage for no reason. Queen's poking and prodding still. No Nidus down here. There's this Neeb pushing back on towards the creep spread. The creep chambers will now get taken down as there is an observer in play. Another Colossus is about to finish up. This is the few Locusts that he had to fight again last time around when he was fighting up north. It's not really going to be enough to really be that scary, but the Roach is coming in. Could change something here. Neeb, I think now is being found to be a little bit too aggressive. He's out of position and maybe a recall. The thing is, if he recalls, he's going to be exposed for a little while he while the recall goes off. Oh man, this is bad. He's lost the Colossus. Now he's just got these couple of Immortals from earlier. The Locusts are going to drop onto this army in a moment. He might be okay. The Robo might be in trouble. The Cybercore actually will be the target here initially. Locusts expire, and so Neeb can probably hold on for now, but the next wave of Locusts is going to be difficult once again. It's going to be seeing Phoenix lifting up one Roach where I can. Neeb taking a couple of skirmishes here and there. 118 army supply of the Zerg to the 59 of the Protoss at the moment. Really, Neeb just going way too far forwards and just not really giving notice of the Zerg play, perhaps actually having something past those swarm hosts. Locusts already all over again here, and that's the difficult part. How do you realistically fight this? Because now if he doesn't fight, he's going to actually lose the robo facility, and that's really bad for him. That's really bad for him. These Locusts are going in towards this mineral line, and well, actually, I feel like this is a mistake from Toodming. He drops a few Locusts in towards the natural, which is cute, but he keeps chasing up towards the third base with the rest of the Locusts, and that's not so great. I feel as though that's a big mistake there, because there's just time where the Locusts in the air are not really being as effective as they could be. More Locusts getting cleaned out. There's the Swarm Hosts going into play. Roaches and Ravagers will rotate around the top side to hit this third base, of course. Maybe this time we see the recall back into position nice and quickly, as we're going to see Stalkers and Sentries setting up, but, well, the Sentries just a little bit too late to actually start Force Field. And there is the recall, so he is going to come right on top of this. Obviously, with the recall to the Nexus, you actually sit on the map before you can move away. And so it's actually a little bit of a different scenario to the Mothership Core recall, where you don't sit, on the Nexus and are able to be attacked for a while. So it's really good defending attacks like this. And so he does get into position, Neeb, but I'm not sure if he's going to have enough, as we're going to be seeing Locusts dropping in towards the natural as well. And Neeb is looking as though he's in a lot of trouble here. Stalkers are dropping, Colossi are dropping. Neeb just doesn't seem to have enough. GG. Toodming takes game 3, and Toodming is up, moving forwards here. Crazy. It's just fairly normal. Guys, to the top side of the map. Down a game after holding the cheese in game 1. He lost to the cheese in game 2, and then the Swarm Hosts in game 3. What could he possibly lose to in game 4? It's from Ting. Give him some love. It's Neeb. And to the bottom right hand side, our red Zerg player. Give it up for Toodming. Two-1 lead for Toodming in this series. Not the finals I would have been expecting, Toodming and Special. But Toodming isn't there just yet. They are indeed playing on Korea, which is obviously something to keep in mind as well. Neeb is playing on, well, from East Coast America. So, having to play on the Korean server is pretty rough for him. He's probably playing with quite a latency disadvantage here. So, that's something worth keeping in mind as well, I suppose. Neeb and Special, the reason they were invited into this tournament originally was because they were in Korea. They were living in Korea, obviously, and this tournament got massively delayed. So now Neeb not in Korea to continue playing these matches, but obviously he still wants to play them out because there's still money on the line. Of course, $500 if he loses here. If he wins here, he triples his prize money to $1,500, with a chance of winning $2,500 in the finals. Probe nibbling away. And a drone. Neeb just trying to be a little bit annoyed in the early stages. I was watching Neeb play at Home Story Cup, and he was playing a lot of Terran ladder. Obviously on the ladder at Home Story Cup it was still old patch. And he said he was playing Terran because it's the brace which had least changes, so he's just playing some Terran for some fun. And it was the night we had the Home Story Cup after party, and Neeb was having a couple of drinks. Our boy Neeb, he's a big party lad nowadays. So Neeb was having a couple of drinks and getting hyped to go out by playing some Terran, and I just sort of sat there watching him, and we were just chatting a little bit. And he clicks Q, he clicks Q ladder, gets ready to go into the game, as we're gonna have one of the Chinese casters timing out here. So Xiaose is one of the, I can't say his name, Xiaose is one of the other Chinese casters, so obviously a bit of banter between them as he's like, out! But great time for the story, I guess. So Neeb hits Q on the ladder, he finds his opponent, he starts loading into Abyssal Reef. The first thing he says, he's loading into Abyssal Reef against a Zerg player. The first thing Neeb says is, hey, this guy's using my portrait. And I'm like, I'm there like, oh, that's cool. You know, it must be kind of weird. And he's like, nah, it's not weird. It just means I'm going to 4x the guy instead of playing macro. So he proceeds to proxy 4x this poor Zerg player because he's using the Neeb portrait. Obviously, Neeb's playing on a barcode, so the Zerg player doesn't know. And the Zerg and Neeb proceed to play this most insane proxy 4x game I've ever seen. Like, it's like one of the closest things ever. There's Lings counter-attacking. Neeb CC has to lift up like 3 times in the game. Like, Neeb kills every single drone. The Spine Crawler survived on like 3 HP for a moment. It gets absolutely crazy. It gets to this point after like 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, maybe a bit less. It felt like 7 minutes. It got to this point where all of a sudden there was like no drones left. Neeb killed the last queen. And some Zerglings were about to pop, but Neeb only had 3 Marines left. But Neeb couldn't land his CC because his CC was lifted and burning down, and there was one Zergling just sat underneath it. So Neeb pulled his Marines back to the barracks, and as 8 Zerglings popped, it was like, oh shit, he's gonna lose. Like, there's nowhere for him to go. Even like with his back up against the barracks, he's in trouble. And that's when Neeb proceeds to lift one of the barracks, move it just like 1 pixel north, so there's a tiny gap for the Marines, and the Lings are like running in. The Lings are about to surround the Marines, and the barracks drops down. Neeb makes it to the corner, and just like that, Neeb won the game because the 3 Marines are in the choke point, and the Lings try to fight it, and that was GG. It was great. It was really one of the, maybe a story that doesn't translate so well when you tell it, but it was really, really sick. This game was so close, and it was so clutch, this barracks move to save the day. All because the poor guy used the Neeb portrait. Alright, Neeb has been very aggressive here. There's obviously a lot of depths moving onto the map. It's only 3 gateways, but a lot of adepts nonetheless, and these Lings are going to commit, but they're kind of going to commit before they realize that more adepts are coming in. Neeb starts to kite backwards, and look at that. A lot of these adepts kept alive here. Now shading forwards again. Neeb looking to keep on pressuring. He's ahead in workers already. It's going to stay that way if the Zerg has to keep on making Lings. Obviously not going to be going too good for the Zerg either if he's going to lose some drones here. And a couple drones already starting to go down. These adepts going to shade after them. The 3rd base was never taken for Toodming. He actually took it in the far bottom left corner, which is obviously a little bit of an interesting one. Neeb doesn't see that yet, as we are going to be seeing those adepts continue to trade very well so far. And we've seen the adepts going to be shading up in towards the main. Going to do a little bit more damage here, looking to pick off a couple more drones. Well, that's like 8 banelings for 2 adepts. That isn't efficient at all. That's exactly what Neeb was hoping for when he shaded those couple of adepts in to waste some banelings like that. Thing is, Neeb, I guess, doesn't still know about the bottom left-hand side. Maybe he's starting to figure it out as he sees units coming in from that direction. As he continues to well, back away a little bit here. Morling is going to be gathering together, seeing what they can do. Adepts will shade down again. Neeb definitely seems to be in control of game number 4 so far. As these Adepts shade in once more, we're going to see these Lings once again under fire. So Lings are going down fairly quickly, as we're going to be seeing Adepts. Well, they are starting to get cleaned up, but Toodming realizing that he's just way too far behind. GG. Neeb takes game number 4 on Blackpink. So past him. The 23-month resub, thank you so much, appreciate it. Some love in the chat for Harsum. I'm telling you, new film will open the floodgate of resubs today, apparently. The resubs have just flooded on in the last couple of games. Thank you, Harsum, for the 23 months. Almost 2 years, man. Almost 2 years. Alright, top right-hand side of the map. Our blue Protoss player from Ting. Give it up, guys, if you get cheering on Neeb. Bottom left, red Zerg. It's Toodming. Alright, game 5. Looking to see what's going to happen here as we have this probe moving around. Scouting to see what's happening. Twilight Council being thrown down and about halfway done already. So we'll see if Neeb wants to go Glaives again. May just want to go straight towards Dark Shrine and that DT sort of opening. No Robo though, which is more suggestive of Resonating Glaives instead. And also the gateway is coming down already is very suggestive of Glaives too. Get those Adepts out nice and quick, build up that count to push across the map with. Overlord moving through the top side, through the main base. Meanwhile, this Adept going to be coming through the center. It's going to be heading in towards the upper right to try and do a little bit more. A lot of Lings on the way up. The Baneling Nest coming down. Toodming has cut workers once again, and we are going into for the final game of this series. The Ling Bane all in. Now, how does Neeb defend this? Well, his wall at the front is pretty good. Ling's coming forwards here already. Having 3 gates up with Adept production is going to be very good against the Ling Bane all in. Let's see if it's going to be enough though. 3 more Adept shade. Oh, Adept kind of warping. They now start to shade across the map, and that's the issue maybe here for Neeb, that he doesn't know that this attack is coming. Without this information, Neeb is just so blind to what is going on. Starts a robo behind this. Banes are morphing. Adepts are going to be on this side of the map. If they get cleaned up without doing enough damage, well, who even knows? Can they see how much is in the mineral line? Because that's actually going to be really important here. See some Lings. Sees a very empty mineral line, and I think Neeb might already start to realize that he rocks off with a pylon already. It's not going to be soon enough, though. These Banes are going to start busting through, and these probes are going to be in a lot of trouble here. Neeb's going to start splitting up to minimize the damage, but so many probes going down to the Adepts there. The Adepts do shade in, but some of them are just out of position of the wall off. More Adepts do come back into action. The new pylon on the low ground is going to be seeing the attack continue in towards the main. Force field is good to push the Banelings away. It's a really good force field. A second force field perhaps not really needed, I guess, in the end. Neeb is starting to stabilize so far. The initial damage was good by Toodming, but it hasn't necessarily been enough just yet. As you see, those Adepts are going to be gathering together on the low ground. The shield battery heals up a couple of these units. In fact, this wasn't enough by Toodming, I don't think. A lot more Lings going to try and counterattack, but now the sentries in the wall off. With sentries in the wall off, these Lings should never really be able to do enough. And here we go, they're going to try and push forwards, but I mean, Adepts going across the map, it'll force the Lings back home. And that's obviously potentially going to find some damage too, so here we go. And these Adepts going to be pushing in towards the natural expansion now in a moment or so. Up the ramp they go, no, not up the ramp, in towards the natural. There we are, Ling's going to come in, they're going to get this around. Just 2 Adepts, the rest of the Adepts go up towards the third base where, well, there isn't really very much at all. Banelings are moving forwards once again. Ling Bane still being made by Toodming. He's not making drones. It looks as though Neeb is held on. And it looks as though Neeb is not going to let this work out. I mean, mistakes can still be made. Neeb is still definitely in advantage at the moment as more Adepts will join up in the center of the map. And those Banes waiting for the right moment to strike here. Robo facility being chrono boosted away. And that is exactly the sort of mistake we're talking about. All 4 sentries suddenly getting blown up by the Banelings, and at the same time, Neeb just lost his Adepts too to these Lings and a few Banes as well on this side. Sorry for missing that. And so Neeb is in a bit of a more of a troubling position than he maybe should be. Going in towards the Robo Bane now. Still on a worker lead, but just losing a lot of Adepts there without really getting much out of it. More Prism coming through the center of the map then. We'll be looking to place some counter pressure in play beyond those initial Adepts that were doing a very good job on the map up until here. Very, very much, by the way, Kaipen and Zed coming in with the brand new Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much. Some Woody Hearts in the chat, please, for a new subscriber. Give you a proper shout out after the game. You're going to be seeing these couple of Adepts getting ready to drop on down. Ling's in position here. Queen will push this Warp Prism away. A couple of Adepts will be just microing again. Not doing too much, just trading where possible. Roach is now on the way up as well. Colossi on the way out. Colossi are good if you get to the right number of Colossi, but Mortals would work quite nicely against the Roaches, but I guess Colossi will work nice against the Ling Bane. Book count fairly even. Definitely in Neeb's favor, I would say. We don't have game hard on, so we can't see the income tab, but if we could, Neeb would have been in general a little bit ahead throughout the game, and it's definitely quite nice for him. Resources loss is pretty even on the other hand though, so it's not the end of the world for Toodming. He didn't do game ending damage with his all-in, but he did enough to at least get himself onto free base. I think a big part of it was cleaning up that big wave of adepts so efficiently. Neeb, I think, really just kind of shaded on top of some Banes or something, because you really shouldn't have lost so much to that. You shouldn't have lost those adepts so easily. Now Neeb's going to push with 2 Colossi. He's obviously got the Warp Prism to micro and to warp in reinforcements. He needs another pylon to finish up, otherwise he'll hit a supply block very soon here though. More Stalkers warping in. 50 army supply Neeb against 60 of the Zerg. So a lot of Lingbane, Roaches and Ravager numbers gathering up as well. Colossi at the front here initially, doing a little bit of damage. Is there extended thermal lance in this? There isn't. Force Field's on the back to block those Lings off now. Roach is going to start moving forwards. This is where the Warp Prism can become very important here. Not a good time for lag at all. Neeb is going to continue to micro. Chinese caster realizing that it's not a good time to be lagging. He's going to tap out of the game as Neeb's attack is starting to get shut down here. Drones were pulled forwards. We're going to see Neeb pulling backwards to try and get a few more warp-ins in. These adepts coming through, but the Colossus is in the Warp Prism and is not actually joining the fight right now. Still pretty close. These adepts continue to shade around and to try and do a bit more. Neeb will back away, but he lost a lot in this fight. He's got third Nexus coming up behind us, so he's got a transition. The Lingbane Roach of Toodming continues to set on up. Toodming does have that melee upgrade coming through, something which is missing here, of course, for Neeb. No upgrades for him just yet. No extended thermal lance either as he starts to build Immortals. Colossi gets a little bit of a heal from the shield battery. It'd be nice to see a couple of shield batteries on the third base as well for Neeb to help protect him against potential future attacks, because that would be, I mean, that would be what I was afraid of right now, you know. Just lost a lot of army. Big Zerg counterattack on the third could be difficult to deal with. Shield batteries, you know, they're not free, but they're not expensive for how much safety they can provide. As we'll make a little bit of progress through those rocks, we'll actually stop that though and come around the side. Where they're going to find an Immortal perhaps? No, they're going to get a run by off in towards the main and natural. And that's very painful because Neeb, there's going to be time wasted dealing with this run by where he could really instead be trying to deal with these Roaches and Ravagers at the front. So that's not going to be pretty at all, as we're going to be seeing. I mean, okay, he will deal with it very slowly, very surely. He's losing probes in the process. Neeb is falling apart a little bit here in game number 5. Neeb is falling very much so apart right now. His burrow play being used as well. This Roach army runs past a couple of opponents past the Immortal. No observer for Neeb. Means that he's missing the detection. He needs to actually see these Roaches, so that's annoying. And he can't just sit on top of it forever because the third Nexus is under attack as well, so he has to come over here too. He's going to lose a few units there. I like it. Good split by Neeb. Doing what he can to stay in this right now. It is a Roach-based army, which means that generally the supplies are meant to be favoring the Zerg player. Has Neeb got enough though to even begin really defend this? He's bringing more army across over here to defend because he did clean up those burrowed units. Lings coming out of the main base though that were burrowed and going back towards the natural. Neeb has to try and keep dealing with that. Immortals are microing quite nicely so far. There's a Immortal in the front as well, which is doing a lot of damage. Enough to actually push these Roaches back. But Neeb is down on 26 workers to 50. And we'll find a couple of Roaches in the mineral line. Sees 1, sees 2. Neeb's economy is in, well, it's been shattered right now. He needs to find a way to be able to trade. The Immortals will definitely help, especially against the Roach heavy composition that we're seeing here out of the Zerg player. It looks as though Neeb isn't going to make any more probes though. He's just going to attack with what he has and try and win it with this. So here we go, going to keep on pushing forwards. I mean, how many Immortals are in this? 3 of them, a few sentries with a little bit of energy on them. Man, with so many Lings on the way out, you've just got to question, is it going to be enough? As Neeb will drop 2 force fields to the left-hand side. It's a good start to do what he wants to do, as we see the Warp Prism microing, trying to keep these units alive, but as the Roaches and Ravagers get on top of this, the Lings as well, it's going to be too much. GG, Toodming will go to the finals in a 5-game series here against Neeb. He's able to clinch it out, and he will get his matchup against Special, a PvZ Grand Final.